So
Yeah. So how has BIM impacted the business so far?
BIM is a drastic difference from the kind of software we used in the past. I mean, before, 10, 20 years ago, people talked about CAD, computer aided design, yes? And essentially, the software people used at the time was not a modeling tool. What it was a graphic software, like what a draftsman would do. In fact, draftsman is basically it. The draftsman would actually draw what he's told to draw in plan, elevation, and section, you know, and they were not related to one another. With BIM, what you have is you're actually modeling the building of the form in 3 dimensions, or 4 dimensions, or 5 dimensions, which is where we're going now. You see everything as a whole, holistically. So what that means is that if I have a building, for argument's sake, I change the plan, it changes the elevation, changes the section, changes the form, and everything changes the same. So that in itself tells you that it's quicker to make changes with BIM than it is with any other graphic software we used before, CAD. The other great advantage of it is that there are also elements within the form that enables you to create information. So there's a database that you can go into. You can put several parameters, including cost and quantities and numbers. So I can design a building and I can tell you how many doors it has, how many windows it has. You can put a cost to the number of windows and doors. And you can put a cost to concrete, for instance, and you can give me the cost of the building, which really means that you may not need, at a very early stage, a quantity surveyor, a structural engineer, a mechanical engineer, but the architect or whoever is manipulating the software can give you very vital information very quickly. So it makes it a lot more efficient. It makes it strategically, as a business, a software that you should use. And you can see the difference in what we've done here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And what would you say to people who feel like it's just too expensive to start working in this way, and it's probably easier, both in terms of training staff and purchasing software and hardware, and so that they're fine where they are? What kind of advice would you give to those people?
Expensive, relative. I mean, in today's world, a Mac computer costs $1,000 or thereabouts. A phone costs $1,000 or thereabouts. An iPad costs $1,000 or thereabouts. So spending $2,000-3,000 on software that makes a difference to what you create as your business is absolutely nothing. It's not an argument. You know, you need to train and learn. The world has changed. A computer is more of a tool that everybody has. So I'm not sure why that becomes
would be a challenge.
problem. Because if people are investing money in phones that from $500 to $1,500, spending $3,000-4,000 on an architectural tool that enables your business work is absolutely nothing. I don't think it's something to be talking about. Now, people who talk that way don't understand what is required. They probably are not ready to move into the real world in the 21st century.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Last question. What do you think is the future of technology how do you think technology is shaping our practice? Especially since the pandemic.
Well, there are several things that are happening in parallel. I think technology never ends. I think if you look historically at what has happened from 1G to 4G, and if you see what's going to happen with 5G, technology is going to become unified. Everything is going to become one. All professionals are going to interact. They're going to talk to one another seamlessly. I think the pandemic has made it such that we now know that all the things that we wanted to do, but we couldn't do because there's no need to have them, we have to do now. So we have to meet online. We have to use videos, for instance. We can use videos. We can be in a position as doctors, for instance, to carry out operations 2, 3, 4, 5,000 kilometers away. Same thing as architects. We can direct architects and builders, contractors and craftsmen from afar. Yeah? So things have changed very quickly and it's continuously going to change. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. But if you don't embrace technology, then
Be left behind.
you are going to be left behind. It's
Right.
a matter of time.
Right. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you.